In a quiet mountain village, nestled between whispering trees and winding paths, lived a young man named Ren. From the outside, he seemed at peace, always smiling, always helpful. The villagers adored him. He never said no, never disagreed, never let anyone down. But inside, Ren was exhausted. Every day he woke up thinking of how to make others happy, fearing rejection if he failed. He feared disappointing his family, upsetting his friends, or being seen as selfish. So he became what everyone wanted him to be, shaping himself like clay molded by the hands of others. He nodded when he wanted to question, gave when he had nothing left, and smiled even when his heart was heavy. One evening, after yet another day of saying yes to everyone else and no to himself, Ren sat alone by the river. The sky turned orange, and the water mirrored his unease. He watched the current flow and wondered, if I stop pleasing everyone, will I still be loved? Will I still belong? As the sun dipped behind the hills, Ren heard the soft shuffle of feet behind him. Turning, he saw an old man wrapped in a simple robe, his steps slow but sure. It was Master Tao, a quiet elder known not for preaching, but for the calm that followed him wherever he went. The master said nothing at first, only sat beside Ren, watching the river flow. After a while, he spoke gently. "Your shoulders are heavy, child. What burden are you carrying?" Ren hesitated. He had never spoken of his struggle, but something in the old man's presence invited truth. "I feel like I must be everything to everyone," Ren admitted. "If I say no, I fear they'll stop caring, so I keep giving, even when it empties me." Master Tao nodded slowly, eyes still on the water. "A river cannot give more than it has," he said. "If it does, it dries and disappears. And when that happens, even those who once drank from it suffer." Ren lowered his eyes, his thoughts turning inward. "But isn't kindness about giving? About putting others before yourself?" he asked softly. Master Tao finally looked at him, his gaze calm but piercing. "Kindness without boundaries becomes self-erasure," he replied. "You are not the air, meant to fill every space, please every need, be everywhere at once. You are a person, and even the kindest flame needs fuel to burn." Ren listened, feeling the words settle in a place deeper than thought. The master reached down and picked up a stone, smooth from years of river flow. He held it in his palm. "This stone does not try to be water. It does not bend or flow. It stays true to itself, and the river shapes around it." Ren watched the stone in silence, the metaphor unfolding within him. "Being yourself," the master continued, "may disappoint others, but losing yourself to please them, what kind of peace is that?" The wind whispered through the trees as Master Tao gently placed the stone back beside the riverbank. "Many people," he said, "will love the version of you that serves their comfort, not the version that honors your truth." Ren's chest tightened at the words. He had spent years shaping himself into a mirror, reflecting others' needs, others' moods, others' desires, until he no longer recognized his own reflection. "But if I change," he asked, voice trembling slightly, "won't I lose people? Won't they walk away?" The old man nodded slowly. "Some will, he said plainly, and that will hurt, but others will come. People who do not want your obedience, but your presence. People who will sit with your truth, not just their expectations. The words sank deep into Ren's heart like quiet rain soaking dry earth. In that silence, something shifted. Not a dramatic awakening, but the subtle beginning of a different kind of strength. One rooted in honesty, not performance. Master Tao stood slowly, brushing dust from his robe. He turned to Ren and said, "Come, there's something I want to show you." They walked in silence through narrow forest paths, where sunlight filtered through leaves and the earth was soft beneath their feet. Soon, they reached a small clearing where a crooked tree stood, twisted, uneven, but tall and strong. "Do you see this tree?" the master asked. Ren nodded. "It grew this way because it didn't chase the sunlight like the others," Tao explained. "It grew where it could, how it could. It didn't compete. It didn't try to be beautiful, but it survived storms that others couldn't." Ren stepped closer, running his fingers along the bark. It was rough but solid. "In the same way," the master continued, "you don't have to grow in the shape others expect. Your strength comes from staying rooted in who you are, not from bending to please every passing wind." Ren sat beneath the crooked tree, the master beside him once more. A silence settled between them, not empty, but full. "But how do I begin?" Ren asked. "How do I stop saying yes when everything in me fears being disliked?" Master Tao smiled gently, as if expecting the question. "Start with one no," he said. "A quiet, honest no. It doesn't need to be angry. It just needs to be real." Ren looked down at his hands, remembering all the times he'd nodded while his heart screamed otherwise. "And what if I feel guilty?" he whispered. "You will," the master answered. "But guilt is not always truth. Sometimes it's just a shadow of old habits dying." Ren closed his eyes. He imagined saying no, imagined the discomfort, the awkward pause, the disapproval. But then, he imagined breathing easier, standing taller. He imagined hearing his own voice clearly, not drowned beneath the noise of everyone else's wants. The sun was sinking lower now, casting golden light through the branches. The forest around them felt still, like it too was listening. Master Tao broke the silence once more. "The world may not reward your truth right away," he said, "but it will respect it, eventually. And more importantly, you will begin to respect yourself." Ren nodded slowly, letting the words wash over him. He thought of his days ahead, not filled with dramatic changes, but small moments of choosing himself, saying no when his body said rest, pausing before agreeing out of fear, speaking when he would normally stay silent. "I've always thought love meant giving endlessly," Ren said quietly. "But now I see. It also means giving to myself." Master Tao smiled. "Exactly. And when you stop abandoning yourself to be accepted by others, something beautiful happens. You become someone worth truly knowing." Ren looked up at the tree again. For the first time, its crooked shape didn't look flawed. It looked free, They walked back toward the village slowly, not speaking much. There was no rush now, no urge to prove, to fix, to impress. Just presence. As they reached the edge of the clearing, Master Tao turned to Ren one last time. "Remember," he said, "you were not born to carry the weight of everyone's expectations. You were born to walk your own path with honesty and grace." Ren nodded, something quiet but steady rising in him. He knew the world around him wouldn't change overnight. People might still ask more than he could give. But from this day forward, he would no longer trade his peace for their approval. That night, as he sat alone beneath the stars, Ren felt something new. Not fear, not guilt, just space. Space to breathe, to be, to belong to himself. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough. Because, in the end, who are you when you stop trying to be everything for everyone else?